7 days a week, 365 days a year. All there is today is soccer, and you guys know we don't cover that on this show generally. Maybe Chris and Rod will give out some picks, but we have college basketball starting tomorrow, and we're going to do a little bit of a college basketball preview show. We're not going to go like totally in depth and under the hood because we're going to do that every single day as we go through all of the different games, and we're not going to go through every game every single day. We're just not. There's not enough time in the day to do it. There's 80 games scheduled for tomorrow, and I think like maybe a quarter of them are canceled. It's kind of like how college football is starting, and something we're going to talk about with the guys. It's just Brian, Chris, and Rod with us today. I don't know where Ian is, to be honest with you. I got all the names messed up on here. I can either switch you guys around or just switch the names. I think it's easier to switch the names. Anyways, Rod's in the upper corner today. So I lost on Monday Night Football last night. I had the Bucks. I tell you, it wasn't a game that I liked. I'll be honest. If it was on a Sunday, I would not have even given a pick. I gave out the free pick on the over, and I gave out the premium pick on the Bucks. All I had to do was flip flop it. I would have been fine, right? But I didn't do that. I gave out. It's like I don't even know why. I just thought the Rams hadn't played that well. Rod had the Rams. It's like. It happens, the day before he had the Chiefs and I had the Raiders. It's just these are probably not a game that either of us was. I only fell in love with the Raiders because so many people are on the Chiefs. That was really I didn't even love the Raiders in that game, and I was kind of scared all the way down that even like when they went down by 4 points, or 3 points in the game, a few times I was kind of like. Please don't turn the ball over and and let me go down by 2 scores because they never got to that point, but I was never quite there. It wasn't like my game of the year or anything like that. I don't know. I want to address this really quick. There's so we have a Facebook group, and our Facebook group is a community, right? And it's always been that way. And I've never been like one of these guys that you never see in the Facebook group, and I've never been someone that's been inaccessible to you guys. I've always been totally accessible. I never say I'm too busy or don't have enough time to talk to you guys. If you guys want to just sit there and talk about something, yeah, I'm too busy. It's like I'm not going to help you build a competing business. That's what I mean. That seems to be the theme of the last month, right? Where people email me and they want me to help them build a competing business against me. It's like, that's not going to happen either. But I'll tell you, in general, if there's an issue, if there's a problem, I'm super accessible, and I'm in the group, And if you bought my pick, you could ask me, how strongly do you feel about this? People do that, And it's like, it's Monday Night Football. I have to have a pick, And it's like, I looked at both sides, and I just said, well, the Rams have been lousy in this sort of spot. And it's, and you look at the game, it kind of came down to, a couple of plays. Really, the whole thing. It wasn't like, the Rams' defense definitely was a little better. Tom Brady looked like the Tom Brady that we've seen since the Eagles Super Bowl. And, I had the troll at halftime. I like Blue Ribbon and Lindy's. Michael's asking. I have both. I have Lindy's on my desk right here. Blue Ribbon I have on my iPad. So I like both. I think Blue Ribbon is better. I just think that it's for some, if you're going over a ton of games like I do, sometimes it's a little too much information, It makes it harder to sort through.
How good would Tampa Bay be with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback?
But I have both. I have both Lindy's, and I know Rod has Blue Ribbon. Do you have Lindy's also, or just Blue Ribbon? Chris has Blue Ribbon. Brian has Blue Ribbon. Tony T has Blue Ribbon. Brett has Blue Ribbon. Most of our guys use Blue Ribbon.
What's Blue Ribbon?
It's the one I sent you in the email.
Oh.
Spoiler alert. Brian didn't check his email.
Nah, he's full of shit. But anyways, I just want to say that it's like our Facebook group is never going to be going around telling people that they're right or wrong in their picks because we have the handicapping contest and the rules will be out by Thanksgiving, and the day after Thanksgiving, the rules will be out and everything. I'm working on it. It's, I want to make sure that they're tight, and it's like, and we're going to see exactly what everybody is made of, and I already know what's going to happen here. It's like, I already know, I already know. So, I already know the problems that we're going to have. I could tell you right off the bat. about the late picks, the people I didn't know, right? I didn't know.
Well, then you get a loss.
Yeah, the only thing that I can't, the only thing that, and it's like the picks have to be entered by a certain time, it's like, oh, I was at the casino. I don't care, because if you're a capper on my site and you say that, the answer is, I don't care. I don't care, man. I do not care. Do not care. I was on a cruise. I didn't have, I don't care. I don't take cruises because of that reason specifically. Chris has got the jacket on. He's frosty. He's been cold as ice. He's been Mr. Fade, Senior Square. He has been the book's punching bag. He has, I've been there, man. I'm not, we've all been there. But I think, when you get into that cold streak like Chris is in, and I think this is something to keep in mind in betting and in college basketball, that as long as you stay the course on your handicapping, you can change the course on your betting. We've talked about this behind the scenes, and I've talked about it publicly too, is that when I start running hot, I generally will tend to almost get too conservative, and I did it Sunday, right? And I went 3-4 on Sunday, and I did so I'm in NFL this week. I was 4-5 overall. I won on Thursday. I was 3-4 on Sunday, and then I lost on Monday, right? So 4-5. It's not the worst NFL week I ever had. It's certainly not what I'm looking for, right? But it's certainly we can weather the storm on those, right? If that's the storm, well, it's kind of like when they project the Category 4 hurricane, and it's kind of just it rains for 15 minutes. I mean, that's pretty much what that is in terms of sports betting. But I think I think what happens is when we get hot or when we get cold. When you get cold, sometimes you chase a little too much. When you get hot, you sometimes get a little too conservative. I got a little favorite heavy. I was running hot. I got a little favorite heavy on Sunday. I was afraid to do the things that got me hot, and that was to make the unpopular picks. Like I took the Patriots against the Ravens, and you guys shellacked me in the YouTube comments. Shellacked me. I mean, same thing, right? I mean, you guys just absolutely crushed me. And the same people that laughed at my Bucks pick last night, were probably on the other side of that game, and they probably also had the Chiefs on Sunday, And it's like, that's sports betting. I mean, people are like, you and Brian never agree. No. We agree probably 85% of the time. It's the 15% that just, sometimes we strongly disagree, I think he had like the under last night, I like the over. Right? It was like, but it wasn't, neither of us felt like, oh my God, this is the game, right?
There was nothing that jumped off the page.
There was nothing, right? There was nothing there. And the game came down to it. I mean, everybody on that final drive, you're fully expecting for the Bucks to at least get a field goal there and go to overtime. And then, the Bucks probably get the ball. But what I was thinking was more likely going to happen was the Bucks were going to get a touchdown. It was going to be a push. And that was going to be that, But it just didn't happen. Tom Brady, he's old. And I don't understand the throw, that he made. That happens. But, so no one has any picks for sale. We have some of the guys have college basketball packages. Any of you guys got college basketball packages up? I don't have anything. Chris does.
Yeah, I got one up. Yeah.
Oh, so you guys all do. I'm the only one that doesn't. I don't have any college basketball packages.
Are we giving our sales pitch for our college basketball?
Go ahead. I'll put one up. I'll put one up too. How much are you selling yours for? How much is it?
Well, today only $400, 24 hours.
Go and put me out of business. Gonna put me $400 for how many weeks is college basketball? It goes to the end of March.
Well, the best deal is getting our year passes from one of our guys, and that's $3.54 a day.
I know, but it goes so it's like you're talking the end of November, December, January, February, March. So 4 months. It's $100 a month. There's college basketball every single day. So it's like less than $1, right?
Because you're gonna pay $30 to $50 for one pick.
No, but this is like 80 cents a pick or something.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many guys don't want to jump in at a lower price. They'd rather just pay the single price.
I'd rather you not sell that.
But I got
Don't
3
buy
years
it.
worth of,
Don't buy it. Don't buy Brian's package. It's too cheap, man. You can put me out of business.
I'm a cheap whore today.
You guys will come on. It's like I got the new Christmas. I got my Christmas lights up. It's like I'm gonna have to sell the Christmas lights on eBay, man. It's like what happened?
I think Joe D is cheaper than me.
Brian sold too many season packages for NBA.
My college basketball record over the last 3 years is 383 wins, 306 losses, 56% winners, over $42,000 of profit. So, if I lose this year, I'll be shocked. But guys, check that out.
This is a different year, and we're going to get into that about this year and how crazy it is. I just sent a strongly worded email to my writers, a lot of all caps. A lot of caps. Ruffalo's like, there was a lot of all caps in there. Rod, what are you selling for college basketball? You gonna try and break me also here?
Probably. Same thing. I got it. It's $400.
Turn out the lights, man. It's like, yeah, we'll have all you can eat lobster buffet for $12. It's like if you guys don't get these packages and you're premium pick buyers to begin with, and you don't already have a yearly or something, you guys are crazy.
From November 25th to April 5th. You're good to go.
I know what it includes. My March Madness package, I got news for everybody out there. I'm not as smart as these guys. My March Madness package will cost more than their season. It's like, I'll tell you that much. You want like all the conference tournaments all the way through the NCAA tournament, whatever. Yeah, it's going to cost you more than that, $400. That's for sure. Chris, what do you got? How are you going to try and put me into bankruptcy?
I got a plane landing outside my house. They're redoing the road right outside my house. So.
It's the Polar Express coming to pick me up. I hate the Price is Right. These guys, I want to get the theme song going on, but I got my platinum posterizer college basketball package up for $3.99 over at the website.
Oh, great! $1 cheaper than Bitler. Thanks for the good news, Chris. We're gonna just block. We're just gonna block them out.
College basketball, my favorite time of the year. I love it. It's one of my favorite sports to bet on. So I plan on having a good season this year.
Anyways, if you're joining us late, this is our college basketball preview show. These guys are all selling season packages for college basketball for.
How much is your year pass?
$400. It's $12.99.
Exactly. So you're selling the year pass at a little over $100 a month, and it breaks down to how So you're selling cheap too.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I sell the year pass at that price is because I have existing customers that go way back, and I don't want to raise the price on them. I guess I can coupon them, charge everybody else.
Getting the year pass without a doubt.
Yeah, and also, the whole thing about the year pass is that it's a one-time payment. It's a commitment that they're willing to make with us. So I'm willing to do it. Some people want the year pass, but then they want me to break it out into payments. It's like that kind of defeats the whole purpose. It's like I get it. It's like, but it's like, wouldn't that be like taking the monthly and discounting it to $100? I mean, I don't know.
I put Mitch's year pass on layaway.
It's like that's pretty much what and the thing is, I get that question often. It's not like a one time I've ever gotten it. I got it probably once a week.
I mean, if you get a just try. I mean, I don't know. If you can't pay the $1,200, then you should be betting big amounts.
Well, I agree with that, but the thing is, it's like if you get a monthly pass, it's $300, right? It's $10 a day. So even if you bet $25 a game,
oh yeah, that's true.
You're good, But and same thing with the yearly pass $1,200 is a lot of money for some people, $1,300, especially this year. I went to get the Lindy's book at the Barnes & Noble yesterday, and they were doing like a donation of books, where like you could buy books and donate them. So I got the entire Dr. Seuss library, donated it, man. It was like they gave you, if it was buy one, get 50% off. So it's like
How up to date is the information in that magazine?
they have pictures of empty arenas in there, so it's pretty up to date.
I mean, because people show up to the fantasy drafts, those old magazines. I'm thinking, for me, it's
Most of
technology
them.
is
Well,
ridiculous.
if you read the Blue Ribbon, he said I wasn't even going to do this year. You know, that's what he said, and this is the same. There's not a lot of college basketball previews out there this year. They weren't done, but there's a lot of so like, the letter from the publisher. Let's see what they say. But we left off last year in college hoops, and we never really hit the big dance. It was the first week of March Madness had already taken place. Teams had qualified for the NCAA tournament. Teams were already in, and then we were at the second week of March Madness, which is
Conference tournaments.
the good week. Yeah, that's the best weeks of March Madness, so the conference tournament weeks, because that's when you really have like a lot of games. A lot of people think that Thursday and Friday the NCAA tournament, which are great, and I'm hoping to be in Vegas this year for that. I love being in Vegas for that. I love being in Vegas for that, and I hope we're all in Vegas for there together for it. But
I need a room with a hot tub.
Whatever. You can, if that's in your budget, then go for it. I don't hang out in my room a lot in Vegas.
It's a square hot tub.
Yep. No, sir. I don't get in a square hot tub.
I'll tell you who has the hot tubs. The Polo Towers has a hot tub there. And then there's like some of those off the strip places, like the Best Western or whatever. Like they have them. Places like that. The other ones that have I don't want to get into somebody else's hot tub.
I might go to Joe D's hot tub. He's got a hot tub.
I don't get into like those jacuzzi tubs, man. I do not get into other people's jacuzzi tubs. Man. No way. Not my
bacterial
thing.
stew growing there.
I was just saying. Germ soup.
I got the wrong day on the show. It doesn't really matter. It's a college basketball show.
Can we give out our futures bet to win it all, and maybe a long shot
To start? Sure.
No. At the end, I'm just
of course.
No.
So
no.
let's just
I
get
don't
it
want to give away
started.
all the best information early.
Chris, what are you looking at here in college hoops? Like, you guys all prepared for this show? Like, what would you like to say? Like, in college. So a couple things, right out of the gate that we have to keep in mind, and we have to say it, even though it sucks, is that you got to watch this schedule, man, because these games are being canceled left and right, and I have a feeling, and it's like when it came to college football, I was the most optimistic of everyone, and I was like, what's going to happen with these guys that cancel is that they're all going to play in the spring. Like if they play, in after January, like they said, we're just going to have 10 months of college football. It's going to be awesome, right? And then, you had the other guys, the doom and glooms, and I'm not going to mention any names because I wouldn't put Sean Higgs, I wouldn't throw him under the bus like that. But he was just like, oh my God, they're going to cancel the season. Oh no, I don't even know if there's going to be college football. I was like, Higgs is going to be freaking, are we kidding? You know how much money they're going to lose if they cancel? It's like, I know, but it's like, and here we are, we're betting college football. It hasn't been perfect. There's been cancellations, postponements, but look what's actually happening. This would have been the last week of the season for college football. But there's already games, regular season games, scheduled out through December 12th. There's even regular season games on December 19th. We have more weeks and it's like, fine. So we have some watered down weeks where there's not as many games. Like this past weekend was a watered down week of college football. There was a lot of cancellations, right? Didn't feel like it.
But plenty of games in general.
There's plenty, right? There's plenty of games. I went 6-3 on Saturday, and I could have easily had 5 games I didn't put in. I would have been 10-4. With the other ones that I gave out on the show that I said this was supposed to be a premium pick. Frickin' Northwestern. I don't know why I didn't put that in. Oh, man. In Iowa, especially. That's the one that hurt. Anyways. So you got to watch the schedule. There's going to be a lot of cancellations, and there's also schedule changes. So far, the first game of the season was supposed to be Towson, who all of a sudden we become by the end of like December, a college that we're all dialed into, right? Every college basketball season, it's like the whole rest of the year we never even never even acknowledge that this place exists. But during college basketball season, they're in focus, right? All of a sudden. And so Towson was supposed to open against St. Bonaventure. Then it was rescheduled against San Francisco, and now it's UMass Lowell. So Towson is 9 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Come hell or high water, they're going to be playing hoops while we're on the show tomorrow. Before the show, they're going to be playing
hoops.
They're going to be playing hoops. But that's pretty much what it is, and that's the way the schedule is going to be. So we have to always keep that in mind. And then there are other teams that, like, I don't know how the COVID protocol is even going to work. It's like, is it 2 weeks again? Is it, because 2 weeks could be 5-6 games. Ann has decided to show up. Wow.
Thanks for having me.
Clock broken. You're supposed to be blocked. But
woke up to a dead phone. Unbelievable. Power went off last night.
Woke up to a dead show.
So sorry, everybody.
Everyone was asking for you.
I couldn't believe it.
Well, just for that, you got to sit next to Bitler. Anyways,
I have the first game listed as East Tennessee State against Abilene.
No, there's the Towson game at 9 o'clock against UMass Lowell.
Huh.
Covers couldn't possibly be wrong, could they? That would never happen.
No.
Those losers are never wrong.
I'm on ESPN. I'm on ESPN, and I'm only seeing 11 o'clock.
Oh, so maybe Covers is wrong.
I only seen East Tennessee State against Abilene Christian.
Yeah.
All right. So
I see Towson. Well, yeah, not on Covers, but on another site, I see Towson and St. Bonaventure.
St. Bonnie's game was canceled like 3 games back. It was rescheduled to San Francisco, and then it became UMass Lowell.
It's at 4 p.m.
That game is? They moved it back?
9 a.m. was too early.
Too damn.
I wanted to skip over it.
All right, well, we got an 11 o'clock game. And so anyways, Rod, what are you looking for this college hoop season? I know my Canes are loaded. I mean, this, and they're not ranked. So I know all the value in the early season is on Miami. It's like, I know that, and I'm excited about it because I'm going to cash in huge. And it's always fun to cash in huge on your team, right? And it's like, because I know for a fact, and I'm going to state this as fact, this is a better team than any team that they've ever had. This is the best team they've ever had, and they're not even ranked. I'm telling you, they're going to bust them up. And this is a team that has a chance to win the ACC, and they're not even ranked. Like, no one's looking at them. It's like, you're going to get housed, man. They're loaded. The Canes. This is the best. Jim Larinaga is one of the greatest head coaches in the history of college basketball. And I just say that because he's some homer, right? But he also took George Mason to the Final Four, right? So he knows a couple things about coaching basketball. He got George Mason to the Final Four, right? And Miami got the guy from DeMatha High School in Maryland, which is the high school powerhouse of the world. It is the best high school sports. And anyone watching in the D.C. area will surely attest to that. They are the best. They're better than even the Miami schools that I always praise all the time. But if you look at, like, some of the top NBA players, like Marco Fultz, who was drafted #1 a few years ago, he went to DeMatha, and like tons of guys in the NFL. Like, you could probably Google. So they got their guy who they won back-to-back championships, DeMatha, the last 2 years, and Miami got their guy. is their freshman that they got, and he is going to lead us to the promised land. And we also have that guard back who can shoot like no one's business. So look for Miami to bust them up. Rod, who do you like this year?
For me, I'm looking at a couple teams. You know me, I like Kansas. I've always been Kansas. I know they lost a couple big guys, but they always just they replace those guys and they always roll them over. And they may start off slow, but they always seem to be there in the end. Team I'm really looking at, I'm looking at the Badgers teams. They returned their top 5 scorers. I know everybody's all like, oh, Luke Garza in Iowa, but let's see if Iowa can play some defense this year. We know they can score, and they're going to score, but are they going to play some defense? And then Hofstra was my little quiet team that won their division last year. So I keep an eye on that. At the beginning of the year, I will kind of, you got to look at who's in, who's out, and I tread really lightly these first few weeks. I'm definitely not going to go betting 15 games on this game 1 of the card. Tread lightly, see who's in, who's out. It's going to be this year with this 2020 and all these stops. You got to look for a team that I think that's gel, that's together already, because how much continuity it's going to take a bit for these teams some of these teams with a bunch of new guys to get going. And then if you play 1 week and then you're off with COVID for 2 weeks and then you come back, it's going to be interesting to see. In the beginning, I'm gonna follow teams that have already been together. I think because they already have that continuity and gelling together. It's going forward. I think it's that's where I'm going to be watching early teams that are together. Teams that haven't had to replace like 5 guys.
Good story. How about you, Frosty?
For Frosty, now I'm thinking about Wendy's. No, but you know what? I mentioned it on the drive-through yesterday. I'm looking at Oregon. It's just they lost the guys. They lost Peyton Pritchard to the NBA draft, but they also reloaded. They got Eric Williams Jr., scorer from Duquesne. They got Eugene Omoruyi from Rutgers. He put up 13.8 points per game last year. I think the most underrated addition to the transfer, though, was L.J. Figueroa from St. John's. Like I said, I think he's a poor man's Obi Toppin. This guy can fly. So I think Oregon's going to be a team to watch this year, but I also think we're going to get a ton of massive lines on them, so maybe value betting against them early on this season while the team tries to gel. I also think that, team that we're going to have to maybe keep tabs on is Auburn after self-imposing that postseason ban for this season. It's still an experienced group under Bruce Pearl, but with no postseason, some of these guys might not want to. Might feel lack of motivation. Some of them might feel more motivated because this is their only shot and they don't have a chance to shine on the big stage. So,
well, we know how Bruce Pearl's teams generally roll. We know that Bruce Pearl always has a guy who's on the fence. It's like he's a qualifying, issue, and it's like, if he doesn't get in, they have a decent team that's competitive. If he does get in, then they have a really good team, like the one 2 years ago that made the Final Four. Now, that's Bruce Pearl. It has been that way. Remember Aaron Kraft from Ohio State, and the whole Bruce Pearl scandal at Tennessee. It was Aaron Kraft who was, the picture was of in Bruce Pearl's living room at his house. Dinner. It's kind of like that California governor eating at the French Laundry, man. It's like, what the hell's going on, man? Anyways, but Bruce Pearl, a great recruiter, but he loves to walk the line. That's for sure. And, if you're going to have Bruce Pearl as your coach, it's kind of like Hugh Freeze at Liberty, right? It's like, you're going to get your guys, but, you're going to pay a price at some point. You got to pay the piper.
Yeah. The last thing I think we're gonna have to kind of watch to see how no fans in the stands for certain games is gonna affect certain teams and the lack of a home court advantage and how it goes without it. I think we're gonna have to see if talent really rules out here rather than just relying on your home environment.
So who do you think that who do you think the home court advantage? What are some of the teams that were not having the home court? Like Duke.
I was going to say Duke. I think it's a couple teams in the Big Ten. Your Wisconsins, Iowa. And those are two Big Ten schools I think have a huge home court advantage.
What about Indiana and Louisville?
Indiana as well.
And Kentucky at Rupp.
Yeah. If you go to the Pac-12, Air State with what they like to do behind the nets and when the opposing team shooting free throws, and there's a lot of teams. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the adjustments have to be made early on in the year.
Any game tomorrow that you're dialed in on already?
There's been a couple that I've been flipping back and forth on, but I'm trying to see. I had it up and I lost it. I think I would probably lay the points with Kentucky over Morehead State. I think Kentucky's going to want to come out flying. They're not going to want to have a repeat performance of that Evansville game. I think they're just going to want to step up and just set the tone for the rest of the season early on.
Oh, yeah, I always want more head than less head.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a type of games you take Morehead State.
Yeah. Kentucky always starts out slow. They come out slow and then they
I like Jacksonville.
They're always ready to go.
I like Jacksonville State against Bama. I do. I think they'll hit them hard.
That's my favorite college. I love Morehead State.
What about Jacksonville State against Bama and the Gamecocks?
Bama.
And I was also looking at Liberty against Purdue getting the 11 points.
Purdue don't they have their player back, their guy? Or is that Iowa?
I think it's Iowa.
Iowa's got their guy. Brian, who are you looking at this year?
I think Rod earlier kind of described Iowa. We got a team that's been playing together for a few years. Garza's got Bohannon back from hip injury, and we got Joe Wieskamp. I think it's the best team that McCaffrey's had at Iowa since he's been there. I mean, for me, Iowa, Big Ten Conference is going to be the conference to watch, and I think Iowa will be the class of that conference.
I don't know.
Me and Rod disagree on that one. And then your off the radar team, I like Northern Iowa. AJ Green, I think he's the best in the Missouri Conference. I think Northern Iowa is a team you want to watch when they go up against the power. If they get some matchups with some good powerhouse teams, to see what the line is.
I don't know. I think Arizona State is still a freaking tough team, man.
Where are they picking Miami?
Last year,
Miami.
What's that?
Where are they picking Miami to finish in their conference?
Oh, it doesn't matter. The last time they won the conference, they were picked like double digits down the road. It was a few years ago. They were picked. Doesn't matter. They were playing the toughest conference. So
toughest. Big Ten's the toughest conference. You got Rutgers is going to be a contender. You got Illinois. You got Michigan's always good. Penn State's going to be good. I'll have to disagree. I think Big Ten's the best conference.
I don't know. Virginia, North Carolina, Duke, NC State, they're all going to be pretty good. And so is, and you got Miami, you got Louisville. I mean, it's absolutely loaded.
And Duke and Kentucky are so young.
Yeah, well, Kentucky is always young. They recycle through.
Yep.
I think Virginia's best in the ACC, but. I love their offense where they pass it around for like 45 seconds and then they shoot a ball.
It's good under.
Yeah, there's some, just glancing. I haven't really dug too deep into the college basketball. I just haven't. It's a lot of information, and I'm game to game guy, and that's what I do. And who are we looking at in college hoops?
So I like to break it down with the leagues, or with the conferences, excuse me. And I'm really liking St. Joe's for the Atlantic 10 this year. They have a couple new people on their roster. A lot of optimism. I personally know the assistant coach there. They're very excited about their team. And it's I'm excited to see what they do the first couple of games. They have some big ones they're going to see as long as hopefully Duke is playing. They'll have Duke, they'll have Baylor, which I'm actually going to get to Baylor in a minute. I love Baylor. Florida is one of them. And I know they have Arizona State. That's another big one right off the bat. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do against these teams. St. Joe's, I'm going to probably be looking at betting this year. They won't be favored against these teams, I'm sure, but I'm really loving their coaching staff, and I think they're going to do very well this year. They'll probably take the Atlantic 10. I think they're currently sitting at 2, but I think they're going to win that. And I'm just loving this team, and I'm from Philly area, so something I want to get behind. Well, it'll be interesting too to see how Duke is as well this year. They're ranked a lot lower. What's that?
They're stacked.
They're stacked. They're stacked. But yeah, I think did they cancel that first Duke game? I think they did.
Yes.
Just woke up. I haven't been able to check any news. So, yeah, they got that guy AJ Griffin or whatever. He's from Archbishop out in New York. I know this area well with the teams. I actually played a Catholic basketball league, so I'm very familiar with that high school, and so he's going to be very good, and that's somebody to look out for with Duke. And I'm actually I'm very excited for Duke. They don't have a chance to win the division, but they don't have a chance to win the division, but I think they'll do pretty well though, and they're rebuilding their entire team. So
to answer Brian's question, Miami's picked 7th in the conference. So Virginia, Duke, North Carolina, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Miami, Syracuse, NC State, Clemson.
Well, they might be able to beat Georgia
Boston
Tech.
College, Notre Dame, Pitt, Wake. And that's murderer's row right there. But mark my words, Earl Timberlake. It's a name you're going to know at the end of the season.
Who's he?
He's the guy. He's the guy.
He's the guy.
Chris likes Earl Timberlake. You guys remember those names? I remember Rich talking about them on his previous show. I've been around betting for most of my life, and college basketball is the sport that most people that I've met that don't bet anymore, that find out what I do for a living, and then they say, I don't bet anymore, and I always say the same answer to them. College basketball, right? They're like, exactly. This is the game where I think that most people lose their ass on it, because I also think it's one of the doggiest sports out there, and that's why I love it. It is the doggiest of the underdog sports. There hasn't been an undefeated team. There hasn't been an undefeated team in 30 years or more, and that really tells you a lot about it. And it's like the loss isn't always one that you see coming. I mean, last year, remember Butler had that murderer's row schedule, and they made it through they ran the gauntlet, and Oregon ran the gauntlet with them, and it was like, then all of a sudden they were losing to, Stanford and stuff, right? I mean, I don't know if they lost Stanford, but I mean, it's that type of sport, and it also, they don't dribble out in college basketball if you're losing. You have to remember that. They don't dribble out. They'll shoot the three from the bleachers, man, and it goes in. And it's that meaningless three. Oh man. I'll tell you who's the best at my best meaningless three. I've had my best meaningless three. Jimmer hit one against Florida, like a meaningless three at the buzzer to make it 5-point game instead of 8, and the line was 6.5. It was awesome. It's like, if you're a dog better like I am, it's like college basketball. That's why I love it. It's like usually right out of the gate, it's not like the books, like, ease you into it or whatever, they just go for the jugular like day one. It's like it's
yeah.
it's savage, man. It's like you want to avoid Indiana at all costs. You know, it's like I don't care who they're playing. You know, you want to avoid them at all costs on opening day. Like, stay the hell away from Indiana. I don't even know who they're playing, man. No, I can't allow you to do that.
So I just wanted to add in some tips on totals for live betting for you guys. There's a, if you get to the I made a ton doing this. So just some quick tips on that. If fourth quarter, oh my God, the second half is getting ready to start. And you see a team that's neck and neck, maybe within 10 points. You have Villanova and First Baylor or whatever. We're going to say it's at 50-40. Typically, I like the over there usually. And again, like Mitch said, they're going to always shoot the ball. Even at the end, it's funny, they foul each other. That could be a 12-point lead and there's 20 seconds left. No, they're still going to foul each other and shoot in.
Also, the team that's favored will airball from the free throw line in the last seconds more often than anything that you've ever seen in your whole life. Like, you totally forget it, but like a guy at Duke will just, he won't even hit the net, you know? They're just total airballs, you know?
Another good thing too is you want to also write down those totals, and one thing I love to do is screenshot all the totals before the game starts. And then I'm a big second half better with college basketball. That's really where I make a lot of my money. It's a great way to get thrown out of the
sports book. It's a great way. Second half college basketball betting is one of the quickest ways to get thrown out of an online sports book. Yeah, it's like because they'll call you the dirty word. You're a professional bettor.
Make sure you check out Kyle
Hunter. Turn out. Not once, not twice, over 3 times. But guys, listen, it's you screenshot it on your phone. Let's say that over was originally set at 160 and you're opening it up and it's halftime and it's at 130. Grab the over. If you have a big lead with the team at second half, one team's winning by 40 points, 30 points. We're going to see that a lot. Grab the under. Okay, you're going to want to take the under. What's going to happen is then they're going to go last 8 minutes. They're going to switch out, put in their set, their other players. And that's when you'll see a lot of missed baskets. So that's just a little bit of a live betting totals that I like to do. Some tips for you guys.
Yeah, I've had some of my biggest losses have been in college basketball also. Chasing that Oregon-Arizona game a few years ago, at the day before the Super Bowl, was when I chased it all the way up to 23. There's no way they're going to lose by 23. Oh, yeah, there is. Dylan Brooks lit me up. It
happens.
Any coaches out there that that are just horrid against covering the spread, and any ones that are just great at covering it? Because Shaka Smart is, as a favorite, is horrific against the spread.
I'm picturing the one guy in my head now. I have to look him up. I can't think of who he is. I see him every time.
Chris, anyone out there you think is a little overrated? Iowa?
Yeah, I think Luka Garza coming back is a bit of an overrated return. Like, everybody's throwing his name out for the Wooden Award, and I'm like, okay, the guy had a ton of double-doubles last season, but he's also horrendous at the free throw line. And
like Brian said, that's a bruiser of a conference, Yeah,
I think he's going to have big-time issues.
Ohio State's loaded. They're loaded this year. They got 2 transfers, right, that came in.
So Illinois plays better D than Iowa by hands down.
Ohio State had two. Didn't Ohio State get like 2 massive transfers that came in, like 2 frontline guys?
Yeah.
No, you see it listed in the top 36. Ohio State.
In the top 36. Yeah, well, that's where the value is then.
Maybe they're sneaky. Yeah, that's what it is.
Sneaky good, huh?
Those are my teams. I was a big Middle Tennessee during the Giddy Potts era. I picked them to beat Michigan State outright in the tournament. They did.
We talk about the bruiser of the Big Ten. I think Michigan State's going to have another flop year. I think there's just so much promise and hype, and I'm not seeing it from the Spartans. I know well coached with Tom Izzo, but he was there last year and they had a down year. So I think there's going to be another one in East Lansing this season.
I think some other teams that we need to watch for that are typically good surprise teams are San Diego State. Is always good. And, they lost a lot of their team, but we didn't know who any of those guys were anyway.
The only one I have written down for tomorrow that I'm looking at is San Diego State.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know any of those guys were to begin with, right? It's like
top of my list. I'm looking at tomorrow.
It's
the
like,
other one.
That's
Sorry,
like
the other one
Go
I
ahead.
think was overrated. It was UCLA.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if they
You
would
seen
have
all
got
this-
LaMelo Ball, it would have been good.
I've seen all this love UCLA, and like, there's no one on that roster that's really that does right. And then Mick Cronin's going to coach his team out of more wins than I think any other coach in a Power 5 conference this year.
Still got one idiot here. That's this guy. Few got me. Still laughing because I took the Jets and the Jags. But here's the guy that like when I said to take the Braves on the reverse run line -3.5 and it paid plus 900, right, or something like that. We never heard jack shit from this guy. And how about that troll on last night show? You like that?
Oh, I had. Don't get me laughing again. Don't get me going.
Oh yeah. Chris, did you watch the show? You happen to catch it or half?
Did you
No,
send
I
that
did not.
turkey to the homeless shelter for him?
No, I didn't.
Turkey to the homeless shelter. Oh,
No,
that
your-
guy was back? Oh,
Yeah,
my
your
God.
buddy. Your buddy.
Oh, I can't, Mitch. That was a halftime shit show there. It was fun
Was.
though.
I think with college basketball, we just have a lot to cover, and we're going to do the best to cover it on the show. Probably not going to get to dig into a lot of detail on a lot of the days. Like when there's 80 games, we're not going to go over 80 games. That's for sure. We're not going to do it. Going to skip around. So I thought South Dakota State was canceled.
Now, how are your Catamounts? When do they start? Vermont.
I don't know. I think the Ivy League is canceled. Oh, no, they're not Ivy.
Vermont's not in the Ivy.
No, they're not in the Ivy. I was thinking Dartmouth. I don't know.
Did you get a hat or a shirt from somebody? I
Shirt.
forget.
We had a hell of a run with them 2 years ago. Was it 2 years
They're
ago?
all Catamount. Yeah, I think it was
2 years ago.
Yeah, that was
they were so
Yeah.
last year.
I forget who your team was last year that you were taking all the time.
Baylor.
Oh,
Hofstra.
Hofstra was Rod's. They covered like no one's business, and I had Baylor early. I
I
was
wish
on
I
Baylor.
could remember who I was on.
I was on Baylor.
Gonzaga.
I was on Baylor early and often. Gonzaga
I
wasn't
had to
so
get my
good
notebook
against the
out to
spread.
see who I was on.
What was Gonzaga against the spread last year?
Um,
I don't think they were that good because they were laying like 30. A lot of
nah,
them.
I think they did well. I'm more of a spread person. The first 6-7 weeks, and then I go and do totals.
I love to take like BYU when they're playing Gonzaga or San Francisco or St. Mary's.
Even Duke. Duke was great last year. The first half.
BYU beat Gonzaga last year. Anyways, we got a lot of college hoops coming up. I'm excited about it. Gonna wrap this up. I know the show's not really going anywhere. It's not our best work. But tomorrow we got a ton of games. We got college basketball. We've got college football, 2 games tomorrow, and then that will lead us into
It's not
Thanksgiving.
tomorrow. That's Thursday. There's no college football tomorrow.
Yes, there is.
Is there?
Of course there is.
What the hell did I miss then? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's like 100 games on tomorrow.
No.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
Thursday.
Football games on.
Oh,
Thursday.
college football. Sorry.
Thursday.
Brian, we're talking about
There's
basketball.
two games Thursday, and then like 11 games Friday.
Yeah. Well, Michigan, there's college football tomorrow. That's what made me double look.
Well, Vandy, Tennessee was postponed. So is Missouri, Arkansas.
That's a shame.
I'm sure Shane will still cover the pick dogs, though, for those of you that are interested.
The big opportunity on Thursday, college football. There's one good matchup there.
On Thursday?
Yeah, I really like it.
I haven't even looked at the game.
Well, I think Rod's onto something with San Diego State. I like that against UCLA. I think that's a good, might be a good opportunity.
They're always good. Chris, you like Liberty minus 37.5 against UMass?
I think, yeah, I'll go with that. Why not?
Rod, how about UAB minus 20 against Southern Miss?
Ugh. No, I'll take the plus 30.
Oh, and how about UCF minus 25 against USF?
USF. UCF.
USF, you suck at football.
They're good when Willie was there.
Yeah, that's true.
Chris hates Willie Taggart.
Good premium.
I'm not with Willie Taggart. I don't hate Willie Taggart.
That's why you're wearing that coat.
Shut up.
Willie's a good coach,
It
man.
looks like South Park.
He must be roasting in that coach.
Jim Levitt's
Must be like
got that
1,000
defense
degrees.
playing, man.
Yeah, he does.
Brian Cal Stanford, trombone player.
Oh, the Stanford, the Cal. For me, Cal, just at a glance here, I think Cal wakes up, comes out with a really good defensive performance here. Stanford, I wouldn't run to bet them.
Well, we'll have picks tomorrow. We'll be back. We're going to have college basketball. We'll know what the final schedule is probably sometime tonight. I know there are some lines out, but like it seems that a lot of the big books don't have the lines out, right?
No.
Like the Westgate.
Got these.
I always go by the Westgate lines. You know, the opening lines at the Westgate. Like, you know, my things, all my odds that I have, you know, on my board, I always use the Westgate open. Because that's the Westgate. Ruflo's looking at me like I got three heads.
No. I use them now, too.
Byron Westbrook went to DeMatha High School. So did Chase Young. Victor Oladipo. They got more players in the NFL than any other high school. Anyways, go Canes. I'll see
Did
you
everybody
guys.
have a futures? Anybody giving out their futures pick?
Oh, sure, Brian. Go
My
ahead. and do-
futures if you buy my package.
No.
Which is already up.
My futures plays usually stink because I had the Cowboys this year win the Super Bowl. So.
I'm 2-0 for futures, trying to go for 3-0. If you guys buy my season package, you're gonna get my my future pick.
Oh wow! I thought you were joking.
Oh, I'm not. I'm dead serious. I'm not giving it out.
My futures. I disagree with some of these guys here. I like Iowa 10-1. I just put $50 on it. Yeah. And Rutgers is my long shot at 33-1.
To win the national championship.
That's right. Yeah. Rutgers, I think that Rutgers is going to have best team since I was a kid. I mean, since like 79 or 70.
I mean, I could see these teams making a run to the Sweet 16 or something,
Rutgers-
but to win the national championship,
Rutgers.
Iowa is going to win the national championship.
No. They got to beat Illinois first, or Wisconsin, and they ain't doing that. So good luck. I like Illinois.
Let me explain something.
Illinois.
Let me explain to you this. Let me explain to you how this works.
Illinois is
Let me just explain to you how this works. Take your $50 and put it on Baylor. and just forget about it. It's like they're gonna just after last year and kind of being, Baylor was going to win it all last year, and it was kind of like they got slighted.
I wonder if we all picked the Final Four, how many of us has actually had the most right out of that, or anybody would get any of them.
I think
right.
we do that every year. It's usually me. I like
Well,
Baylor.
I didn't get to do it last year.
Well, you don't know who the brackets are going to. Well, we still have our NFL totals. We all have the Eagles under. That was all of our best plays, our two best bets, and we were unanimous on our best bets, on what we called our best bets. We all liked Bills over and Eagles under were our two best bets of the NFL season. The Bills over was like 8.5.
I think I had the
It was like,
Dolphins
really?
win
That's
the
it?
AFC. I think the Dolphins win the AFC East. So, I mean, it's not like I wasn't expecting the Dolphins to have a good year, but and I said the Patriots would be the worst team, but I guess the Jets are. So.
Who's going to win our conference, Brian?
I don't. It's not my conference. I'm not affiliated with any team.
Does it matter?
You're
They're going to make the playoffs and get thrown
Yeah.
out anyways. It's just a crap.
Who's your
could care
pick,
less.
Brian? Ann won't give us her
Eagles are
pick.
still in first.
I mean, we have no way of grading her pick, so she really doesn't have a way to give it out with her premium package. But she can.
Oh,
she can
I was just going to include it in my first game.
Oh, she's
by
gonna.
the way.
No, that's fine. Include it in your first
Yeah,
game.
like if.
Go
yeah,
ahead.
that's
Hold
what I
out.
was gonna do.
This is what happens. This is what
Yeah.
happened to Bittler's touchdown streak. He charged. He went ice cold.
I know. All right.
Sometimes it's better to just from the bottom of your heart.
Maybe
just,
I'll change my mind. We'll see.
My pick for my pick
Got plenty of time.
my pick for to win the national championship is Baylor, and I think my pick for the Final Four is going to be Baylor, San Diego State, Ohio State, and Kentucky. Rod, who do you like?
Illinois, San Diego State, Baylor, because you can't, and the Zags.
The Zags. Chris?
Okay, let's go. Oregon, San Diego State.
I got a lot of faith in San Diego State. They're not even ranked. They all got it.
I think they'll get there. Oregon,
They always get
San Diego State, Duke, and Baylor.
I mean, Rod picked Kansas earlier, and he didn't even have them in his Final Four.
Oh, that's gonna be they're gonna be tough, hard pressed. They got screwed. Literally, we got screwed last year because of the cancellation, and then you lose two guys, Dotson and Azubuku. That's tough. There's two guys, two losses. That's tough.
Chris, what do you think about these Twix Santas that they're trying to push on us? I was at Target yesterday. They had Twix Santas, Snickers Santas. They had
Wait,
Reese's
what?
Trees, and of course,
Hold on. Twix Santas?
I
Twix
know. What is
Santas.
so delicious?
Yeah, where's the Twix Santa? I've never seen any Twix Santa. What the? Well, where?
Give me.
Where?
I want
Target.
it. I want it.
Target. I wonder what they
Well,
taste
we
like.
got, this is Canada. We got no Targets up here. They came up here and they were so empty and ugly looking, and people were like, "Yeah, no, bye-bye Target. See ya."
kind of.
The shelves were half empty. We walked in and it's like, "Is this store open? Are you guys still setting up, or what's going on?" Target got locked here. It was ugly.
That's going to be the name of my autobiography. Empty and ugly looking.
That's what it was. You walk in and you're like, "Okay, you have shelves. How come there's nothing on them? Aren't you a store?"
Well, Brian, who do you like? Final Four.
Iowa, Virginia, Gonzaga, Villanova.
Chalky, as usual. Senior
Wow.
Square. Like, does it get any
I
more
like Northern-
chalky?
Those are all mine. There you
Northern
go.
Those are
Iowa
like,
or
you guys are
Rutgers.
just the squarest of the chalk takers there.
Well, wait till our March Madness show, and then that's my real Final Four. Because I'm
Who's,
good at that.
hey, you sell college basketball package at $400 a pop. You're not going to be with us for March Madness. What's going to happen? So you sell more than a half dozen of those things. I'm out of business.
I'll cut it off the first 10, and and then it's cut off.
Well, you're like, it's like 4 left on the shelf.
I love my guys out there. Like I just can't. I got to give them a deal.
And we're waiting for you.
You know, it's the same as Brian. That's why I'm laughing.
Me and you are the same. We're the
Gonzaga,
opposite.
Virginia, Iowa, Nova. Oh, that's why I'm laughing. I'm like, wow, okay.
Great
I
minds
don't
think
have Baylor in there. Sorry, Mitch.
That's all right. Believe me, I don't have Gonzaga in mine. You know?
Yeah. I mean, if I had to switch it out, Kansas.
Yeah, they will be. You know, Gonzaga will be well prepped with those with that Pepperdine and Pacific matchups they have in February.
Gonzaga's got some outer conference games that aren't bad.
Yeah, if they have
I know.
The out of conference games are going to be and meanwhile they're going to be playing the Portland Pilots is who they're going to be playing. Portland
St.
State
Joe's,
Vikings.
Top eight, St. Joe's. Don't miss out.
No chance.
Don't miss out.
No chance.
I remember when St. Joe's used to be good.
They did. They were like 5 years ago.
Guys that were
Old school St.
They
Joe's.
made it in. It was down the. It had like LaSalle, Nova, Villanova. It was like all these.
I like to
teams
call
on
them
here.
St. Joseph's. I just
St. Joe's. We call them St. Joe's in
It's
our
a
area.
little more arrogant, you know.
St.
A
Joe's.
little
We always say
snottier.
St.
A little snottier.
A little snotty, yeah. The area I work right across the street. It's beautiful.
Delonte West. Who was the other guy on the team? The point guard. He played for the Orlando Magic then. After that.
I didn't really look at the comments today too much. Let's see. You have any good comments? Ruffalo was involved.
You guys lost your Buccaneers pick.
I lost my Bucks pick.
I did good on the halftime show, so
Finally.
finally gave out the under and the Rams.
I really did not love that game.
I did.
Did you guys already talk about the game?
Yeah, of course. We were all here on time.
I know. I'll just listen in later.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow for tip-off of college basketball. It's going to be a big day. We're not going to go over every game on the show. We might do some free-for-alls during college basketball. We used to do free-for-all Fridays during college basketball where basically you guys just ask games and we do it. I'll have the rules up for the handicapping contest by Friday. Rod?
I'm gonna give you
Soccer
free-
birdcage.
free soccer book. MLS. It's MLS. It's been treating me good. MLS. So
I'm going to take a nap
MLS
during
playoff.
this segment. Wake
playoff
me up.
birdcage. I know. Toronto money line, Seattle money line, Philly money line. Parlay those three up. MLS. See, I didn't make it long. I'm not going to be okay. Take the Toronto team, and I would take it.
Al Nino says 3 soccer picks available today. So
I actually have a soccer pick available as well. Surprise. I have a total.
I can't pretend to be a soccer.
Me neither. I'm not an expert at soccer. It's be the
I've
same
been
thing.
practicing
Just
conference.
disingenuous.
Championship league, so I
wouldn't
figured,
feel
you know
right
what, this
doing
is a really nice total I really like,
Go
and
for it.
I decided I'm not going to take a day off.
Go for it.
And
That's not taking the day off. Believe me, I got tons of
You're
other
gonna
oh, I know.
basketball
Me
like that.
personally, I know everybody. Nobody's really taking a day off, especially if
The
you're.
only time we get days off is
Father.
in the summertime. The All-Star break. There's like 2 days I think in the
Yeah,
All-Star break.
That's
you take
about
off.
it. I'm going to be doing a ton of videos today because I got all the college football coming up, and then NFL, and of course, I'm going to do as many college basketball as I can do. I don't think it's going to be that many. I don't think they're going to be as nice as some of these other videos. I'm just going to do the best I can do. It's hard to rip through them when you have to do all the graphics and stuff. So I think I'm gonna opt to go lighter on the graphics. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. I think what I can do though is actually I can edit that in after. figure it out. Figure that shit out.
For the contest?
No, for my videos. How I'm going to do 100. How do I do 100?
Are you following along here?
I just woke up.
You just woke up. Man. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. Have a great day. I'll get those rules together for the contest. I'm just on the fence on a couple things about it, so we'll figure it out. We'll just make a decision and we will go from there. But there'll definitely be a deadline, each day for entering your picks, and I think that you can turn off comments, right, on a Facebook post, Rod?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Like if there's a post there you don't like, the little 3 dots in your top right corner, you can click.
Yeah, but we'll keep all the old comments.
Oh yeah.
So that's what we'll do. We'll have a cutoff time on the for entering your picks, and at that time we'll turn off commenting on the post. That's how we'll do it. Because I don't want like the late picks and I was at this. There'd be no excuses. I already know I already know what's gonna happen. Well, I already know what's gonna happen with this contest, so I'm not all that concerned. I can see the future. I can handicap the handicapping contest.
We can see what happens in 2 weeks. I can see it too. I can see.
I'm gonna guess that all these people that say they pick 85% winners are gonna pick 15% winners.
It's only gonna take a week for about half of the people to drop out.
Yeah, I know it's not as easy as it looks. I know that. I've been doing this a long time, and it's like, all these people that are, the big mouths are the ones that, I'm most interested to see their picks. The bigger your mouth, the more of your picks I want to see. I want to see that record.
Joe's in the handicap competition.
Joe who?
I'm just kidding. That's fucked up.
I might have to enter.
Your stalker.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he'll work with us. He could be on the show with you.
Me and him will do a show.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, I had some. I took out some of my A material for that one. Right, really came up with some good ones.
I had a blast.
All right, thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have actual picks and games and stuff. Have a great day, and of course, we'll try and act more professional.